Hello guys, welcome to another review. Today I will be doing a get ready with me while I talk about the movie Trap. This movie is about Cooper, a firefighter who goes to a singer's concert who is called Lady Raven with his daughter Riley. When they arrive, Cooper notices that there are a lot of cops in the area and he gets very nervous. And I mean, who wouldn't? Like, what's in there? Things start getting a little suspicious because Cooper goes to the bathroom in one scene and he sees his phone and there's a man locked in a basement. Why? We don't know yet. And in that same bathroom, once Cooper is in the sink, in front of the sink, he sees an old woman next to him. Like, who's that woman? We don't know yet. But we notice that that woman doesn't exist. That's a hallucination of Cooper's mind. Once there's a break from the concert, Cooper and Riley go to a shirt stand and they meet a seller who thinks that Cooper is a very good dad for letting another girl have the last shirt left. And he tells Cooper, you know what, don't worry, I'll get you another shirt. So Cooper, now that the seller trusts him, asks him what's with all the security of the cops. The seller tells him this is a trap for the killer, the butcher. Cooper, we notice that he gets a little more nervous, a little more scared. What's going on? At this point, we still don't know what's going on, but we start to make the idea that maybe Cooper is the killer. Anyway, he goes back to the cellar to see if the shirt is ready, which is not. The seller tells him, oh, I have to go downstairs. Very convenient, isn't it? So Cooper goes downstairs with him and they search for a shirt, blah, blah, blah. Cooper asks again about the butcher, the situation, and this seller tells him that every staff member has special training and that they have keywords. And he tells him his keyword, which is Hamilton. This honestly breaks with all the thriller part of the movie, in my opinion, because it's not a comedy. It's a thriller. It should stay as a thriller. And you just think, wow, the seller is super dumb for telling this. But when they are downstairs, Cooper steals the seller's card without him noticing. And with it, he manages to enter a room full of cops who are talking about the profile of the killer. He manages to steal a walkie-talkie through which he listens to the head criminologist and all the other cops who are talking about the profile, the physical profile of the killer. He listens that one of the profiles is a man with a tattoo in his arm, an animal tattoo. And Cooper has a lamb tattoo in his wrist. So he takes a bracelet and covers it. Trying to make a distraction, he goes to the food court and he gets oil jars inside of a potato fryer and he raises the temperature of that potato fryer. Again, how did he do that without getting noticed? I don't know, but his plan succeeded and sadly the fryer exploded in front of a young woman, getting her very injured. Once Cooper sees this woman in a stretcher, he sees the same old woman he saw in the bathroom earlier. Going back to the concert, Riley tells her father that she wishes that Lady Raven chooses her to be a dreamer girl for a song. And Cooper goes to a staff member to see what he can do, and he tells the lie that Riley had leukemia, but that she's better now. That staff member, surprise, is Lady Raven's uncle. Like, what are the odds of finding her uncle? Like, apparently very high. So anyway, they take Riley and Cooper backstage, and Riley has a magical moment with Lady Raven. Yeah. And, for some reason, there's a girl who appears from nowhere that is about to pass out, and Cooper helps her. And a staff member says, oh, you're so kind, you can stay here for the last song. And they do. And, they listen to the last song. And when they're about to leave, Lady Raven says hi to Riley again. And Cooper tells Lady Raven, hey, can I have a word with you about my daughter's condition? And she says, yeah. They go to her space to a room, and Cooper starts talking to her about the lethal effects of carbon dioxide to the human body. This is very confusing for Lady Raven and for the audience. Like, what is Cooper doing? Well, Cooper just confessed to Lady Raven that he is the butcher. Cooper ends up threatening Lady Raven, telling him that she must take Riley and him out in her limousine, or else he would kill the man in the basement. Lady Raven has no option and she ends up saying yes. Once in the limousine, she asks Riley if she wants her to go to her house, which Riley gets so excited. Like, imagine your favorite singer telling you that she wants to go to your house. Like, how could you say no? So Riley calls her mom, and her mom, Rachel, says, okay, yeah. They arrive to their house. They receive Lady Raven with their arms open. Cooper is very angry. Rachel makes some food for Lady Raven, and they sit down in the living room. They eat, and Rachel and the singer have a casual talk about the concert, and Lady Raven confesses that the concert was a whole trap for the killer. In that scene, we can see an uncompleted jigsaw puzzle, which maybe is a metaphor for telling us that the story only needs a few pieces to be completed. Cooper tried to get Lady Raven out of his house, but she insisted in playing one last song in their piano, and Riley was over the sky. She was very excited. So she sat down next to Lady Raven, she played the song, and at the end, she wanted to take a picture with the girl, but she had stolen Riley's phone. This attempt was to take Cooper's phone to take the selfie. Once she did that, she stood up with the phone, asked where the bathroom was, and she locked herself in. She used the phone, which was unlocked, to see the man. She started asking him, "What's your name? Where are you?" The man's name is Spencer. Then Lady Raven, to try and save this man, made an Instagram live in where she started asking her followers. She told them, okay, I'm in danger. There's a man in danger. We need to save him. You can do this. She started telling them the characteristics of the house, that there was a statue of a broken lion nearby, and they made it. One follower told her, I know where that is. Cooper had lost it at this point. He made an attempt of kidnapping Lady Raven by taking her to his wife's car. But Lady Raven started talking to Cooper, telling him, you're hurt, you can change. And Cooper just denied this. In that point, we know that Cooper is a traumatized child. So, I missed this point, but when Lady Raven was in the bathroom, she sent a text message to her chauffeur telling him to call the police. When the police arrive, Lady Raven is free because she went out of the car. But Cooper, we don't know how. We didn't see that scene. He changes into a SWAT agent uniform. And he goes to the chauffeur and tells him, I'll drive Lady Raven from here. And of course he obeyed, like he's a SWAT agent. Cooper handcuffs Lady Raven to a pole in the limousine and he drives her to a crowded place. And she stretches her hand as far as she can to be able to talk to the people outside of the limousine, and she yells, help me. The people realize that she's in danger and that they need to do something. So they call the cops and the police arrives to the place again. And again, we don't know how Cooper is doing all this get changed fast things, but for some reason there's civil clothes inside the limousine and he gets changed again. Lady Raven managed to get free by pulling her handcuffs very hard and making the pole loosen, which let her get out of the car. The next scene takes place in Rachel's place, or Cooper's place too. The criminologist tells Rachel that there will be police cars patrolling her house all night. She starts doing her stuff and then she gets scared by Cooper's voice that managed to get in the house, which again, I don't know how he did that. Like, if there were police cars outside her house, how did Cooper manage to get over that? Like, we don't know, but anyway, inner peace. The plot twist gets revealed at this point. For we know now, thanks to Rachel, that she at first thought that Cooper was having an affair. But then she started noticing that his clothes smelled like cloth cleaner from hospitals, and she started getting really suspicious. She once followed Cooper to an abandoned house where he planned his murders. She broke in and she found a chair and an empty table. So she got worried. She started speculating, maybe my husband is a killer. So how did the police know that the butcher was going to be at Lady Raven's concert? Well, seems that Rachel found the receipt of the concert, and she knew that Cooper and Riley were going to go, so she called the cops and told them, you know what, maybe the butcher is going to be at this concert. So Cooper decides he's going to kill Rachel, and then he's going to unalive himself. And well, before all this, Rachel says, hey, do you want some pie? Yeah, I know. And she sprinkles something on Cooper's slice and they start eating. This something she sprinkled is something that Cooper used to get his victims weak, to feel weak. And he himself started hallucinating with his mother, which wasn't his mother, it was the head criminologist. Thanks to this hallucination, the SWAT policemen were able to paralyze him. So the policemen finally have Cooper arrested. In this last scene, it's a little weird because he sees a bicycle on the floor and he says, okay, just give me 1 minute to pick it up. I thought the scene was the typical psychopath profile OCD. Like he needs everything to be in place. And yeah, he picks it up. Then Riley arrives to her home, gives her dad a last hug, and the policemen get him inside the prisoner car, and then we get a shot of the bicycle, like a zoom. And we notice that the bicycle is missing a spoke. If you don't know what the spoke is, it's one string of the wheel. And we get back to Cooper and we see him getting out the spoke of his clothes. And with that spoke, he gets himself free and he starts laughing maniacally. And that's where the movie ends. Honestly, I think that this ending means that there's no longer Cooper. There's only the butcher because he's unhinged. My opinions on the movie overall is that it has a lot of plot holes, like Cooper getting changed very fast, and the fact that Lady Raven was able to get to Riley's house without any escort, like that doesn't happen in real life. On the other hand, I think the movie portrayed a psychopath's profile very well, because as we mentioned, Cooper was a traumatized child, which is the profile of many serial killers in real life. In terms of cinematography, I think this was a very cool concept because there were some scenes, for example, with red lighting, which maybe symbolized the rage and violence stored inside Cooper. Or for example, other scenes in which we could only see half the face of Cooper, which I think symbolized that we were only seeing half of the personality, which wasn't Cooper, it was the butcher at that moment. This movie, unlike many others, doesn't have a major plot twist because we are seeing the antagonist the whole time. And we are accompanying him in an attempt to not get caught. I feel this movie was similar to American Psycho, but a lot less. And I think it was a better executed psychopath. Thank you so much for watching my video, guys. This was the final result. It's my very first Get Ready With Me, so maybe it wasn't that great, but I hope you liked it. Love you. See you next week for another review.